I wasn't in the stream then. We went live without us in it.
Didn't take the knives down. People were
Oh,
complaining.
I'm going to hang on. Health and safety.
Hello, Belinda and Raymond.
It was just us and Belinda for a minute.
Oh, and C. Blaney. Hello.
Hello, Belinda. Good evening. I think I'm on my own. Well, it's a Monday. We've confused everybody, right?
I mean, we did say we'd go live on Monday, but not everybody knows, do they? So
people are busy eating endless chocolate and hot cross. I haven't had a hot cross bun this year yet.
Oh my goodness, we've got hot cross buns. We can have one this evening. Because I took them to your mum's and then we didn't eat them, so we brought them home again.
Yeah. We've had a relatively chilled weekend, kind of switched off from work. I did some picking earlier just to get ahead of myself, but apart from that, we went and saw family.
Oh, the rain started again.
Here comes the rain again. But yes, it's been a good weekend. I hope you've had a good Easter weekend, bank holiday and all of that.
Can you hear that?
Oh, it is hammering it down. We had hail, didn't we, earlier?
We did have hail earlier.
Hi, Raymond. Not anymore. Oh, Belinda's not alone anymore. Hello, C. Blaney and Sean. You are welcome. Hope you're enjoying Easter. Yeah, I was just saying, we went and saw my parents, went down there. My youngest sister was up with her kids. We got some awesome pictures. You got some great ones, didn't you? Can you find that picture of Eden for us? And we'll share one or two pictures. Will and Hale Store. Hello. Good to see you.
We had hail earlier.
We did. Hey, Chris. Can you hear me, by the way? Yeah, nobody's saying we can't hear you, so I'm going with a yes on that. Yeah, hi, Chris and Mark. Jake.
I think she looks like like a Charlie and Lola book. she thinks she looks like Lola. This is my favourite picture of the day because we did Easter egg hunting, didn't we?
Eden is the
cutie pie.
She's just so cute. She's really quiet and just sits there and takes it all in and gives you that look. And you're like, oh my God. And you just want to go.
She's so cute.
So yeah, Eden and her elder sister is Willow, and Willow's totally come out of her shell now. Willow used to be really quiet as well. But she's just, full of beans these days.
And that's Nick's mum and Ellen.
Yeah. Ellen suddenly looking like a young woman that she is. Not a kid anymore. Hi, Rebecca.
There's a nice one of your mum and dad there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. My mum and dad. If my mum and dad are watching, they'll be like, don't put me on the internet. What are you doing? Hi, Dawn. Let's say a few more hellos. We haven't got anything planned, so we can be led by your questions if you want to bring up a subject to chat about or ask us a direct question. We're happy to do whatever. We don't have any haul. You may have seen our failed sourcing trip.
It was even more failed when we discovered that we'd missed a jumble trail just down the road. Which we didn't know about until after it had finished.
What is actually our nearest town? It's a very small town, but our nearest town, Attleborough. We have friends up there now. Hi, if you're watching. They messaged and said, I'm sure you know, but we're going to this. There's a jumble trail in Attleborough. And it was too late for us to realise. I saw the message. And I'm like, no, we didn't know. We went to the worst tabletop sale ever. But there you go. Not like we need loads of stuff.
And then your aunt and uncle both said, oh, did you go to that jumble trail in Attleborough? Because they've got friends there, so they knew about it. And they don't even live there.
Yeah. Our family in Hertfordshire knew about this thing up the road from us. What we need is an app that lets you know about them.
Wow.
Let's not talk about the app. I've had a stressful few days. That's lumbering on. Anyway, quickly. Hi, Michelle and Panzer and the Scale Studio. Ooh, hello.
The Scale Studio's been in before.
Oh, I didn't recognise the name.
Scale Studio, I'm fairly sure, has bought from us before.
Thank you very much. As has Nick Inc. Good evening. Right, so a few more hellos. And then if you've got any questions or topics or things we can chat about, pop them in. Yeah, hi, Michael. Matthew, boot sales are back. We haven't done a boot
We
sale
haven't been to one yet, but we do have one
for a
on
while.
Saturday, I think.
Where's that?
Just down the road.
We're going to do that then.
Well, I'll go to it anyway. I don't think we'll sell there, but
Hello. Yes, happy Easter to you. We did have a good one. It was very nice to be back home, kind of, in Hertfordshire and catching up with people down there. Jake is going to see the Super Mario Brothers movie. That looks good.
It does look good, doesn't it?
It looks so
Yeah, we
good.
quite fancy seeing that.
I don't know if we'll see that at the cinema, but we'll certainly catch it when it's on streaming service somewhere. Yeah, I've been into Nintendo since I bought my first Game Boy in 1990, I think. Always been a Nintendo fan. Okay, let's see what we've got in here. Oh, there you go. Yes. Yes, I am. I have. You may have seen some of my t-shirts. Actually, I'm boiling up. I'm going to take a layer off. I'm not wearing
shed, haven't you?
Am I wearing Nintendo? Oh, no.
Wearing the Killers.
I'm not wearing Nintendo today. Any more shed DIY videos? I find them great viewing and inspiring. Well, apologies. I did do some work in there. I fitted a higher up shelf, but I didn't film. I just wanted to get on with it and get it done.
Have you fitted that already?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, the one on the far end wall, not the long one down the side.
Oh, I was thinking you meant that one.
I've also we picked up some more strip lights from eBay. We drove local pickup, and I need to fit those. I could try and make a video about that. I've got to wire them in and hang them. Yeah. Okay, let's have a look. What have we got here? I was just sorting out some old clothes of mine from the 80s and 90s. Yep, I kept them that long. Wow. And found a comic relief t-shirt with the male and female face on. I'd guess late 80s or very early 90s, and a Paul Young t-shirt.
Paul Young t-shirt.
Ooh.
We're excited about that.
I wonder if that might have a resale value if you're thinking of reselling the Paul Young. I don't know.
The comic relief one will do as well.
Possibly.
I think I've still got the one with Morecambe and Wise on it.
Do you remember they did the Beatles with red noses on, and other famous people one year? Yeah. They were really popular, and for a while they had.
That's the year of the Morecambe and Wise one.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey James, good to see you. Yes, I don't know if Lainey will be watching. I don't think she's home yet. We chat to Lainey quite a lot, so we know that she's had a rough time. She was quite seriously ill and in hospital. She is, touch wood, on the road to recovery, and they're going to let her home soon, is what we've heard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've just got to get her 100%, haven't they?
Yeah. So, yeah, sending love if you're watching, Lainey, but I doubt she is. She's still in hospital. Hey, Matthew. Good to see you. Michael Moore. I have just watched your old video on promoted listings. Do you still promote your listings?
We do, yes.
We do?
Yes, we don't do the advanced promotions, just do the basic. But I'm of the opinion that it's just, it's something we've just got to do now. It's just another selling fee. And I think at least to the basic level, it's something that we've got to do in order to get our listings placed somewhere. I mean, we experimented, didn't we, with percentages on a certain line of things that we had. And it was surprising how much of a difference it made in searchability when we upped the promoted listing to the recommended promoted listing.
Yes. I do have some opinions about this. It's a cash grab it by eBay, but yes, we do still promote. I remember I made a mini rant video when they upped the basic from 1% to 2%.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I think it is, because it doesn't really give you any particular advantage. It's you know, if everybody used promoted listings, you're back to that basic.
Back to square one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So who benefits? eBay.
Yeah.
I am experimenting on a few lines at the moment with pushing the percentage up considerably. Rather than running a sale and dropping the price, we're experimenting again, and we like to try and mix it up a bit and see what works, what doesn't. But in short, yes, we do. There's a question. So after many months in your new home, I think 6 months in we are now, half a year. Where does the time go?
No, it's flown by.
Is it your forever one? We don't know.
We don't think so.
But possibly not. Watch this space.
We don't think it's our forever home. We're going to enjoy living here for the time we do. And it's a beautiful house. It's a privilege to live here. We love the village. But in terms of forever, I don't think it will be.
We don't think so, funnily enough. That's a conversation for another time. There's lots of different questions around that, of whether we can do the development. We bought this house. A big part of the reason we bought this was the potential to have a second business outside. You probably know what we're talking about with the Airbnb. That's all up in the air. There's other issues and things that may make us relocate at some point.
Yeah. There's a few personal reasons as
good
well.
question.
Yeah.
James, there's a question. What is the difference, challenges, advantages, etc., in your opinion, selling individual second-hand items as opposed to new stock? That's a great question.
It is a great question, and that actually was challenged this week, and to some extent, in terms of what we were talking about.
Was it?
Well, I mean, we don't need to go into detail with it, but I mean, yeah, we did have a discussion about that this week, about whether you thought it was worth doing moving forward.
Well, I made a video earlier that when I was getting ahead of myself for tomorrow, which will be a big packaging day. So I did a picking orders video, and I talked about in that we mix and match both. So we will buy a van load of new stock and have that listed and selling. And then we obviously go out sourcing at boot sales, jumble sales, etc., and buy the secondhand stuff. In my opinion, the main positives of doing the new is you can write one listing and have 200 products available for sale. So you do 5-10 minutes work making the listing, and then you can be selling that product continually for the next 6 months. And there's no extra work. And as long as it's easy to package, like the bubble machines are a good example. We bought a couple of hundred of those bubble machines. The profit margin isn't great, but the work involved, the listing took me, let's say, 10 minutes. When I sell one, we'll make a few pounds, not a great deal. But all I have to do is put a label on it and put it in a mail sack. So there's no extra work. So in that sense, that's one of the main positives. It's less work per individual item, and they tick along in the background. And
I think that it does help to bring traffic to your store as well. If you mix up a bit of old and new, and you're bringing people that perhaps wouldn't normally go to an eBay shop that did just secondhand, but they might have a browse around and buy some secondhand as well.
Who knows?
I think a big thing that we were discussing was the profit margins, and
So the main advantage of used, I would say, are the profit margins you can achieve. If you're finding the really good stuff and you can get it at cheap prices, you can get crazy returns on investment. It doesn't happen very often, but you can buy a chicken for £1 and sell it for 300. Which doesn't happen when you're buying stuff in bulk. Well, I say doesn't happen. It's very rare that you can buy in bulk and have that sort of margin. But there's a lot more work involved in selling secondhand. The sourcing takes a lot longer. The listing takes a lot longer. Generally, it's one listing per item. Yeah. So it's swings and roundabouts. Is that what it is?
Yeah, it is.
Paul and Julie Jones. Hi everyone. Update on my 120 Blu-rays. I sold them for 250 and paid 25. Ding. Excellent. That's a result. You should get fairy lights for the shed. I'm not sure that's the look I'm going for. If we convert it to an Airbnb, we talked about doing festoons coming down from the top, didn't we?
Yeah.
Making it really cool. But I don't think I'm going the fairy light route for now.
I don't think it's really your thing, is it?
Not really. We do have fairy lights in one of our front bedrooms now, and that does look cool, I must admit. But yeah. What's that? I'll send them on Instagram. What were we talking about? What was that? I don't know what that. Okay.
Sorry, I think we've got a Jeff coming.
Is Jeff coming?
It's an Ellen.
We've got Ellen home for. How long are you home for? 2 weeks. 2 weeks, apparently. Okay. Okay, let's have a look.
Chris hasn't used promoted listings yet this year.
I haven't used promoted listings yet this year. Interesting. Oh, what I was going to say on that, if we quickly go back to promoted listings, I think it's more important on, for example, my new stock, where there are multiple other sellers selling exactly the same product. I think I almost have to have promoted. So when somebody searches cat travel bag or whatever, I'm at least up there on the first page, right? Or on the first few results. Yeah. When you're selling, like I know, Chris, you do a lot of vintage video games and stuff. You don't really need to promote that. If you've got that rare game, there's only going to be a couple of you selling it. And then it comes down to condition and price. You don't need to promote that, I wouldn't have thought. I think it's more important on the new stuff. I don't know if people would agree, but it's my opinion.
I think the promoted does different things as well, doesn't it? Because it pushes it out in advertising on Google and, you know.
Oh, Susan says, my 3 grandchildren love their bubble whales. I gave them for Easter.
Oh, fabulous.
Fantastic.
Yeah, we sold a few of those over the weekend, didn't we?
Yes.
It's that time of the year, suddenly everyone's thinking about their garden and the sun's been shining. And yeah.
Well, it was.
It was, not today.
Yeah, I think we sold 5 in the last 48 hours. Yeah, because Easter holidays are here, so people are thinking about entertaining children in the garden. And I think once summer holidays hit, we will clear the rest of those, hopefully without too much bother. And we're going to do a few boot sales as well and sell off some of the overstocks of those as well, I think. Hi, Porkies. All right, see if we've got any more questions. I need to go and sneeze or cough or both.
Oh, James sold a computer for a pound. No, bought a computer for £1 and sold for 300. It was a prototype, apparently. Blimey.
Sounded like a good sale. Same margin you got with that chicken.
Oh, see, Blaney's worked out how to send the pics of the t-shirts. Cool. Okay.
Well, it was the t-shirts, of course. All right. Cool.
Andy prefers second-hand stuff. Sourcing is more interesting, and there is potential for crazy returns on investment on some items. That's very true.
I think out of the both, it's our favourite as well. But I've always enjoyed dabbling in bulk, and it kind of gives us that. What's the word I'm looking for? Reliable sales. Those hauls we're into profit on the first haul, so everything else from here on in is all profit after fees, and it just ticks along and gives us that regular income, so we can now continually take profit out of that haul. It'll be a while until we're into profit on the second one, the recent one, and it kind of just fills the gaps. Selling secondhand stuff can be very up and down and very hit and miss. So we've always found that having several listings, a whole load of different new stock sat there with multiple quantities, just ticks along and gives us that regular income.
Yeah.
And it works for us. But yeah, finding and selling secondhand stuff is way more fun.
Oh, definitely.
Way more fun.
Way more fun.
You can't deny it.
Lewis Smith says, I've really noticed the current economic climate has caused a major shift in sales on my eBay.
Okay, interesting. It's a really good discussion to have at some point, actually, how an economic crisis might affect the secondhand market, because there's an argument that says that it could improve sales if you're doing secondhand as people look to save money. You know what I mean? And turn to buying a used item rather than a new item. I suppose it all depends what you're selling, and you know.
Yeah, but I think that people are watching their pennies as well, though. So
Yeah.
they're not shopping as much as they were.
No. So it might be that it might be that kind of luxury goods, unnecessary goods, take a dip, but things people always need, practical stuff. Creaky door. Yeah. What else have we got in here?
Yeah.
Do you want to read that one?
Rich Jones says, I've watched all your YouTube videos. I find them really interesting for my business and look out. So I wish you could do some more boot sale videos. Well, we will do, as we haven't been to any this year yet. We've got to try and figure out where they are in our area and
where the good ones are.
Yeah, but we're definitely doing one at the weekend because there is a local one, like a one-off. So
yeah,
we're going to do that.
I've said this a few times recently. We can only put out what we're currently doing. I had a bunch of people saying, "Oh, these picking videos are getting really repetitive. It's the same stuff every day." Well, that's what I'm doing right now. I was churning through that massive van load of stuff to get our investment back and get into profit. So I kind of dropped the ball on all the secondhand stuff to churn the bulk of that over. That's been achieved now, and we're well into profit on that. So now the focus for me for the next few weeks is going to be listing like crazy on the used stuff. But we can only ever share what we're doing. We haven't been to, well, we did go to a couple of boot sales when we first moved here. Since we haven't been to any. So that's
the winter kicked in and boot sales ended. Things are starting to open up again now.
Okay. What was that? Oh, it's just jumped. Where was I? Raymond, I recently experienced a lot of buyers on eBay put an offer in. These offers were accepted, but then these buyers went radio silent until I finally cancelled them. Anyone have that issue this year? We've had a couple.
We've had a couple of those. Yeah, they're really annoying. But I think some people just don't understand what the offer system is. I think they're bidding on things, or I don't think they realise that if they put an offer in and you accept it, then that is a binding sale and a binding contract as such within eBay.
It's frustrating that they can't. If they could sort out a system where you almost kind of authorize payment. So if you make an offer, you're kind of authorizing payment if it's accepted. See what I mean? So at the moment we click accept an offer, the payment can go through and the sale is complete. That would solve that issue. But I'm sure there's complications at eBay's end behind that. I don't know.
Yeah, because I mean, when you buy something just ordinarily, you still have to go through the whole system of click to buy, you know.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Don't know. But it is frustrating. There's no doubt about it.
Definitely.
Are you going to make the shed a man cave with sword?
With a sword?
It's not the plan, Jake. I don't have a sword to put in it. The plan was always with the outbuildings longer term to convert them to an Airbnb. That is all still very much up in the air. So in the meantime, as you've seen, I've been working on it to make it work for our business. No plans for that to be a man cave. It would be an awesome man cave. Imagine that.
Yeah.
Hello, Ashley. Lovely to see you. Have you found sourcing more difficult since you have moved?
Not really, no.
Not really. We haven't really pushed sourcing because we've been dealing with all of the new stock that I invested in. But I think in the next few months, now we're coming into yard sale and boot sale season, we'll get back to more of what you probably recognise as us sourcing, going out, filling the car. But we do need to get a handle on our backlog beforehand.
Yeah, well, this is what I'm saying. I definitely haven't found sourcing more difficult. With the few jumble sales we've been to, we've filled our boots. Yeah, and I do have a bit of a backlog again. Plus the fact that we had that big vintage haul, so I'm still working my way through that. And then we've done a lot of charity shopping, and they've been pretty good, haven't they? So,
Chris, I've sold a few GX4000 games this week. Yeah, see, going back to the promoted things, if you're selling, rare and obscure stuff like GX4000 games, right? I don't think you need to spend the extra to promote that. It's such a niche that people looking for them will find them, right? Whereas in contrast with my bubble machines, for example, there's probably 100 sellers of bubble machines on eBay. So you need to gain that bit of advantage and get your listing in front of as many people as possible. So I do promote those. I don't put a lot of promotion on those. I think it's at like 3% or something. But I feel if I didn't, I would get a lot less sales.
chat is always necessary. I like that. It is.
Are we on to words of wisdom already? Good evening, young Neil.
Have you got a ghost in the house? There was just the squeaky door. We've got Ellen in the house. She was just going back in the living room.
We haven't experienced any, ghosts here. A lot of people when we moved in.
Well, Ellen has.
Oh, Ellen thinks she has.
We woke up in the middle of the night.
That's true. Sorry.
A few months back to Ellen screaming, blood-curdlingly screaming, and it terrified the life out all of us two and Jeff. He was barking his head off down there.
Although Ellen had just been through a very traumatic experience.
Well, you see, Nick doesn't believe in it.
No.
But Ellen had seen a face. She'd woken up and there was a face here. And then the next time she came to stay, she woke up in the night and saw a figure stood next to her. So now she's changed rooms and she's sleeping in a different room. But we ourselves have not witnessed anything or seen anything. So, don't know.
Yes, Arming Hall is on our radar and we will go and check that one out, definitely, Porkies. Yeah, there's a few up Norwich Way, isn't there? There's a couple down into Suffolk that we know of. So
I mentioned, I was talking about Arming Hall, wasn't I?
Yeah.
Today.
Thank you, Raymond. Don't forget to like. If you enjoy our content, it always helps somehow in the YouTube algorithm if you stroke the like button lovingly.
I don't like it when you say that. Stroke the like
button. What have we got here? Personally, people are waiting longer for the bigger bargains on eBay from what I'm seeing. Things that would fly off the shelf at a certain price or rarity, but now hanging around longer.
Yeah, I tell you what I'm noticing, and I might have mentioned it last week, but I'm noticing that I'm sending out offers at, a fairly decent discount, and I'm seeing a lot of counter offers coming back at a much lower price. Like people are only wanting to pay half the price of your original price tag. And I think that is a direct thing from the fact that there isn't much money to go around at the moment. So people are still wanting the stuff, but they're not wanting to pay very much for it.
Yeah. It's bound to show itself, the fact that we're all watching the pennies that little bit more, because we're paying way more to heat the house, we're paying, our money's disappearing in other ways at the moment, right? So there is definitely less disposable income, shall we say?
Yeah, there definitely is.
Yeah. So it will have an effect somewhere.
Well, we're finding it ourselves. I mean, we go out sourcing and we buy stock, but things for ourselves, we're not buying that much, are we?
Yeah. Just popping in to say howdy from the Hollywood and Vine Diner.
Awesome.
Or dinner. Diner?
Diner, I think.
Excellent.
In America?
I don't know.
We've been to Hollywood and Vine when we went to America.
Excellent. Let's have a look. Sorry, I'm just scrolling through comments to see if I can find. Now people chatting about.
What's Raymond say? I love a ghost.
Where?
That means afterlife is real. Oh, I for sure know that the afterlife is real, but yeah.
Oh, you could burn some sage in the haunted room.
Yes, now a friend of ours has suggested we do that as well. And
Was that Heather?
I haven't done it. It was actually Alexis.
Oh.
Haven't done it as yet. But yes, it's a good idea. Well, the thing is, I did have some sage and I packed it somewhere. I don't know where it is. I haven't found it yet.
I think we've unpacked everything. So
I know, but where have I put it? I don't know. So I need to find it. Because I don't really want to buy any more. I've already got some.
How far would you travel to do your sourcing? Now, when we lived back in Hitchin, the furthest we travelled was to Jumble Trails in West London, on the outskirts there. So that was about an hour each way.
Yeah, I think we've always said an hour is probably our max.
It depends what you're travelling for. We travelled about an hour to a mega jumble sale as well, which was a jumble sale on next level proportions. That was sort of North London somewhere, wasn't it? Northwest London. Yeah. But when we travelled to the hour to Jumble Trails, that was because there was like 100 stalls, and we knew we could go sourcing all day, fill the car, and it would be worth it. And it was worth it. I think all the times we travelled that far, we were glad we did it. But it's a big investment in time, and these days in petrol, if you're going to travel that far. But yeah, interesting question. What else have we got? Oh, I saw something about what's the name of it? Was it the Book Depository or something or other? It's an Amazon subsidiary business that they're closing down. Is that what it was called? I can't remember. I think I'm at the bottom. Oh, we've got an update on their Comic Relief t-shirts from 1989. That's right at the start then, because Comic Relief started in 88, I believe, was the first one. Yeah, interesting. Good evening, Kathy. Right, I'm actually at the bottom. As we said at the beginning, we don't have a haul to show you. Our sourcing trip didn't produce much.
No, and what we did have, we showed in our video, which went up yesterday. So.
Yes. So we thought we'd just come on and chat.
I'm very confused as to how fried eggs sort ghosts out.
What?
James says fried eggs and a Ouija board.
I've no idea. No idea what that's all about. I'm not a fried egg kind of guy. I poach my eggs. Poached eggs are just heaven.
I'm assuming that's typo. So Chloe says, I've messaged you on Instagram, read some advice for some Royal Dalton plates. Any advice would be highly appreciated. Well, okay, I haven't seen it yet because I've just had a lazy day today, but I'm not an expert on most things, to be honest with you. So I would just do exactly, what you probably would do, and just, Google stuff, Google image search, look on eBay, look on Etsy. I don't really know a huge amount about Royal Dalton, to be honest with you. If I had it myself, I would spend quite a while doing all the research. Taking photos, close-ups, photos of the back stamp, and just looking on other websites, other vintage and antiques websites, and replacements.com helps sometimes. I
suppose once you've buttoned down exactly what you've got, then just do completed listing searches on eBay to find out what the market is like. So find out how many are currently available. Is the market flooded? Are they unusual? Are there only a couple available on eBay? In which case you might have something that's a bit of a rarity, and then find out what's sold. You can sort that by highest first and get a gauge of the kind of top end price. So this is what we do with virtually everything we sell.
Pretty much everything. I mean, there are really a handful of things that I could honestly say I would buy it and say, oh, I've had that before. I know what it is. Yeah. I've got an idea of how much I'm going to sell it for. But then I would still probably search the current market prices on it.
I was going to say, even with items that I've sold many times, and I think I'm confident this is a great item, I'm going to buy it and I know I can sell it, I will still do that research because the market changes completely within a year sometimes. And prices will fluctuate up and down. So I never assume I know what something's worth when I come to sell it. I'll still do the research. And as you just touched on, at any given time that the marketplace is different on eBay, depending on what's currently available. So you need to kind of find out what you're up against. Or you just, if you think you can price it high and wait, which some people do, until you're perhaps the only one available or the only one in that condition that's available, and you can sit and wait. There's so many ways of doing it.
It's up to you whether you want to sort of price it high and wait, or whether you want to clear it quickly. Depends how much you paid for it, I suppose, as well.
So many variables. Plus then there's your personal opinion and how you like to do it. How we do things isn't right. It's just how we do it.
How we do it. Yeah, exactly.
And you do things different to me.
Yeah. I mean, like, I don't know if you've seen my recent video. I've been trying to work out, just trying to find something more about the Japanese bowls that I bought, and Stall has been kindly helping me with that, and a few other people have made some suggestions as well. I buy stuff all the time that I have absolutely no idea about, and just enjoy figuring it out. And
well, that's half the fun of what you're doing.
It's bit of detective work, bit of research. Love it.
Teresa is convinced that anything spiritual is more prominent during Easter.
Oh, okay. It happened months ago, though. It happened like back in January. So, but yeah, potentially.
James is saying there, Nick and Andrea have travelled to America to do sourcing. Well, not strictly true.
We didn't really buy very much.
we were there to holiday and to do the parks.
Yeah.
We did a bit of sourcing on the side.
But we didn't really buy very much because you have to carry it home. That's the trouble. Unless you actually, I think doing it on purpose, and you take an extra suitcase with you, or you decided you're going to send it home. Yeah. But
there are a couple of videos of us in great big American thrift stores.
You've got to experience it, haven't you?
Yeah, it was good fun. Yes, Chris. Chris knows what he's talking about. Poached are the best. If you do them right and they're still runny.
You were a bit annoyed the other day, weren't you? Because you just got your eggs in boiling, and then you got a phone call, and then you had to turn it off, and then they just sat there and got hard.
Yeah, that was frustrating.
Yeah, we didn't have any poached eggs that day.
I can't even remember what the phone call was, but I don't even think it was important. But it ruined my eggs.
I know.
As internationally renowned YouTubers. Whoa.
Wow, I'm going to put that on my CV.
That's going straight on the CV. Do you now get people approaching you regularly to offer you stock?
We get quite a bit of that, yeah.
We do get messages through Instagram and stuff of people that have come into reselling and dabbled in it for maybe 6 months or a year, and then gone back to a day job or given up or whatever, and they offer us their stock. 9 times out of 10 we'll just say, we're not really interested. A couple of times it's led to deals. Yeah,
mostly we're always running on a backlog, so most of the time we say no. If you're thinking you might do that, please don't, because we have too much stuff at the moment. Too much stuff.
I'm always a little bit wary of buying up someone else's stock, because you think, is it just going to be the stuff they couldn't shift? And quite often it is that stuff. But it has led to a few really good purchases over the years.
A couple of times it's been all right. It's done well.
Yeah, internationally renowned. I'm going to remember that.
Poached eggs chat is coming up.
What's eggs royale?
Is that when you would put like a little fancy, like with Thousand Island dressing or mayonnaise or something? I don't know. Was that something completely different?
I don't know.
But Sean loves poached eggs, but finds it very messy. How do you do yours? Do you use a poach or just put them in the water? You just put them in the water, don't you?
Right.
I don't even think you do the whole, put a bit of vinegar in it or anything like that, do you?
No.
Just literally boil up the water and crack an egg in it.
What you want is...
here's the expert advice now.
Saucepan, boiling, like properly, vigorously boiling. Drop them in for 3 minutes. Take them out. That's it.
Yeah.
There's no
his
fanciness.
His phone is so aware of the time that he has his lunch. It suggests to him, do you want to set a 3-minute timer?
My phone tells me when it's lunchtime. It goes, would you like to set a 3-minute timer? I'm like, oh yeah, is it lunchtime? Okay. Here we go. We're back on the fried eggs now then.
Oh, okay.
So apparently, this is according to James, ghosts love fried eggs. Are you winding us up here? Is this a Ouija?
The Ouija board is a trap, like mice, cheese, and a mouse trap. That's how it works. Really? What, like Ghostbusters? Like you'd like trap them in there? Oh dear. What was that?
Nick, years ago, you bought a huge haul from the Macmillan Cancer worth thousands. Soon after, you said that it is only right that you give a big donation to Macmillan after selling a lot. Did you do this? Yes. We also did a fundraiser for Macmillan like the year after, I think.
Yeah.
And I think in total that raised about $6,000 or more. Was that the big one we did?
I don't know.
I can't
remember.
The
big one we did over lockdown was
that for Macmillan?
Wasn't for
No,
Macmillan.
that was British Red Cross.
Yes, it was. In my head, I was thinking Mind, but that was the year after.
Mind was the year after. James says there, we raised £1,000 for Macmillan charity just recently. My joysticks that I sell on eBay helped a lot as charity auctions. Fantastic.
Brilliant.
Yeah. Silverhair Stacker, welcome. Finding the selling price of an item is much easier than trying to know what a woman is thinking. Whoa, what was that look for?
I don't know. I was waiting to be told off for something.
This is very true. Christina says, if you really like an item, the probability is that someone else will like it too.
Yeah.
It's very true. Oh, we've had this question before, and I can never think of anything.
Oh, no, I can't either.
Weirdest thing you guys have bought?
Maybe, was it that vintage, like, was it a massager or something? We bought like in a box, like a sort of it was like a back massager thing, like a.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if that's.
It was a bit suspect though, wasn't it?
I don't know if that's the weirdest thing we bought.
It was like a 1960s thing. What one was it? 60s, maybe 70s.
I think it was 70s. Yeah.
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 I don't know what other weird things we've had. I'm sure there are things, but I can't think.
Yeah.
Let's have a look what else we've got. How are we doing for time? We've got loads of time.
Teresa's saying, Andrea, a while back you were saying that you do feel a bit sad in the winter. Are you feeling much better since the clocks have gone forward? Yes, definitely. Also, thankfully, I mean, I was talking to a friend who came to stay about this, that in the winter we don't get much light in this house. because we've got like houses opposite and the sun just doesn't come up very high over the top. So if you know what I mean, it's so low and we don't get very much.
It's a very old house with relatively small windows, I think, is most of the problem.
there is that. But since the change of season, the sun's higher in the sky, it's flooding through the house, and we're getting a lot more in the garden. So that definitely helps to lift my mood.
The longer days have helped, I think, more than anything.
Yeah.
And wasn't it Gadget Man who sent us the little daylight clock, which we are using?
Yes, I think that is helping actually.
Yeah.
Because I've noticed that I start to wake up because the light comes on half an hour before the sound. And I'm starting to wake up with the light rather than, waiting for the alarm to wake me up. So my brain is being trained to do that.
We have it on a setting of bird song. So the sunlight thing gently comes on and then the birds start tweeting. I think that just sends me off to sleep deeper. I think it's just sells me in for a lie-in. That does.
Yeah, we still don't get a lot of light in our bedroom in the morning because we've got a very small window. I mean, it is literally this big in our bedroom. And the sunlight comes around. So we get the light on this side of the house, which is where our bedroom window is, late afternoon. It was lovely in the living room today. So nice. When the sun was shining, it was flooding through. It was so nice.
Kevin is a breakfast chef, so I can do all sorts of eggs. Oh, see, eggs at breakfast. It's just, you cannot beat it. Eggs at breakfast. Right, here we go. We've got facts coming in. Eggs Royale is similar to Eggs Benedict. That's what I was thinking.
That's what I was thinking.
Oh, that is gorgeous as well. Eggs Benedict. Or Florentine, but uses smoked salmon instead of ham or spinach.
Oh, I see.
There you go. Facts.
Yeah.
Doesn't it use one of those fancy little poached egg cups? No, I use a saucepan on the gas. I boil some water in the kettle, pour it in, whack the gas on, get it boiling vigorously, pop the eggs in. Done.
Oh, here's a fact. I'm assuming it's
this
a fact. Each pleat on a chef's hat represents everything you can do with an egg. I never knew that.
Each pleat on a chef's hat? What, the little folds in the upright bit?
Seems so.
Wow, that's amazing.
Airplane's asking, do we ever put the charity donation ribbon symbol on any of our listings, and does it improve sales? We do it when we do the vintage comic relief stuff.
Yeah, if you select give to charity, last Red Nose Day, about a month ago, we sold off a lot of Red Nose Day stuff and we gave a percentage to charity.
To Comic Relief.
So we checked the button and selected Comic Relief, and then it automatically adds the charity doodly. I found a listing today of our it's Wi-Fi extender aerials from the big hall, and somehow I clicked charity. We were giving 10% to Comic Relief on all of those for the last 2 months. I didn't realize. But yeah, if you select give to charity, it will automatically give you the little symbol anyway. We're back on haunted stuff.
Have you ever bought anything which is haunted? I once got a small handmade cabinet which made banging noises, so I had to get rid of it quick smart. I don't think so.
Made banging noises?
So. But I did feel a concern about the stuff we bought from that big vintage haul was from a lady who had passed away. I don't know if it's just my imagination, but I just kept thinking, I wonder if, she might be sort of around thinking, what are you doing with my stuff? Sure, she didn't speak like that. She was.
What are you doing with my stuff? Stop flogging my gear.
Oh, hello, gorgeous.
Hello, gorgeous. Oh, hello, Joe. I know it's been a little while. That's fine. How are you liking your new home? We touched on it before, and it is a fantastic, amazing house. Somebody asked us before, do we think this is our forever home? And at the moment, we don't necessarily think it is. There are various reasons for this that we probably won't go into, and a lot hinges on whether we can do what we want to do with the property here. That's all in the balance. But as things stand, we're not sure it is. So yeah, we'll leave it at that for now. We are starting to love the village. The more and more we get to know people.
We know more people in the village than we ever knew in our direct vicinity and Hitchin, if you know what I mean. That part of it's really lovely.
One of the things we did want from moving to the sticks was more of a sense of community, and you really do get that here because people will just stop and chat to you.
Yeah.
Whereas in a town, you're much more isolated. You can walk through a busy town centre and nobody will talk to you, right? It's just not the done thing. I can't go to the shop without having a chat with someone, right? It's a totally different mindset here, and that has been lovely. And we've got a quiz team now, and we're getting to know people through the pub, and so that side of it has fulfilled what we hoped. But there are reasons and issues around the house and what we wanted to do with it and how it works for us as a family that we're not sure are right. Let's just put it that way. It's not putting it down, and it is an amazing house. Absolutely. You know, we never imagined we'd be able to live in a period property like this with ceilings like this. But whether it's right for us, that's still kind of up in the air.
Yeah, I do take vitamin D. Yeah.
You could perhaps do with vitamin D tablets during the winter. Yeah, I think for us, it's more about the daylight thing. Lack of sunshine brings you down. Yeah, we've been to Great Yarmouth. Not since we moved here, funnily enough.
I would like to go soon, maybe while Ellen's home at some point.
Yeah.
We could go.
Our first trip away as a couple in 1998 was to there.
Yeah.
We saw Titanic in a really nice 1920s Art Deco cinema at Great Yarmouth.
Yeah, and they had an interval. I still remember that.
You can't beat eggs at breakfast. I know, I have 4 every day. Next level egg fan here.
David says, you can beat eggs for breakfast. It's called scrambled eggs.
Is it David that bought your chickens?
Yeah.
Thank you, David. Yeah, see, in a saucepan. You don't have to get all fancy. We had like an egg poaching thing once, but it's just hassle. You just need a saucepan with proper boiling water in, chuck them in. Super quick, super easy. Exotic dancers should have hats with pleats.
Okay, moving on. Lex says, I defo had a haunted musical jewellery box, or it might be faulty. We had a Furby that randomly just used to talk to itself. Like, you know, it sat on the shelf in the old Tat Cave. And every now and then it would just start saying random words.
Yeah.
It's really odd.
we sold those off for charity. So that one of them might have been faulty. Well, maybe it was the one that I ended up hitting with a sledgehammer.
I don't know. I think it was way before that, to be honest. So I don't think so.
You should have sold that as a haunted jewellery box. Put it on auction. Haunted jewellery box. It would have gone crazy.
So what Lex has put.
What's this? Do you ever sale bop? Sale bop. I just sold one for a good price. I'm not sure what you mean. I
do a bop if I get a good sale.
Oh, never do that again. My breathing's bad. Don't start me on that again. That's wonderful. I moved. I've just lost the comment. That's wonderful. I moved from the second largest city in the US. I wonder what that is. What's the second largest city in the US? Chicago? I'm guessing. To a much smaller town nearly 35 years ago and love it. Oh, good for you. Yeah, that is the best thing about here. Although both of us have said, because obviously we talk about the whole thing a lot, and both of us have said that we think we're town people.
Yeah.
Which
Jeff's definitely a town person.
A town person.
A town dog.
There are a lot of aspects about living in a town or even a city that we are missing. There are definite advantages and benefits to living in the countryside that we are experiencing. And everything's like, grass is greener, right? And swings and roundabouts, all of that. But we'll see. We'll see. Give it a year or so and we'll rethink and see what we want to do.
Lex still thinks that we should move to Wales.
Never say never. Careful what you wish for. Okay, what have we got? What was it? People are still on about poached eggs. Demo video. I'm not sure I should start doing cooking videos. And poaching eggs wouldn't make much of a video.
Bop it. Maybe it's a bop it.
A bop it. I've sold many bop its. Yes.
Bop it Extreme 2. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Ian's Alexa just randomly comes to life and says something. Random. That's weird.
My Amazon Alexa just randomly comes to life and says something random. Alexa, set an alarm for 7 a.m. There you go. Thank me later. Oh, look, got it right.
Oh, well done.
Tap point to me.
So that comes up in the quiz. So Elaine saying, my gran had a haunted clock once. It used to tick, but never had any workings in it. That's weird.
What?
That's weird. Well, in our old house, the spare room used to be an office, and we used to have the computer set up in there. And both me and Ellen heard, it sounded like people typing on the computer in there several times. It was really odd. You'd think there was somebody in there on the computer, and you go in, there was nobody there.
The problems with Boppets is it's irresistible to test and then maybe test again and again. Yeah, once is enough for me. I find that incredibly frustrating. But the one I do like is where you get the light that goes sideways and you have to stop it in the middle. Boppet smash. So you smash the end of it to stop the light in the middle. That I will lose half an hour to before I sell it or before I list it.
Alexis, we were talking about living in London. My mate Belle lives in Stoke Newington, and it's a lovely community vibe there. Yeah, I imagine so, but I would think it'd be very expensive.
There are parts of where is it? We went to the Jumble Trails a few times.
Yeah. Goodness, where was that? It had a really lovely sort of villagey feel to it, didn't it?
Yeah.
Places in West London, it can be really nice.
But that was East End, wasn't it?
Was it East End?
Why can't I think of it?
I don't know. It'll come to us.
I'm not sure we'd ever live in London.
No, I don't think so.
But I think if we it's a big if we did move again, I think we would move to a town.
Yes.
But things change and we don't really know. So we're going to enjoy living here for the meantime.
Oh, funnily enough, Barbara's just said.
I always thought, go on.
I always thought you guys would like living in Hastings. Well,
that is quite spooky you say that.
I've been thinking about it a lot because I think Ellen will settle in that area. you know, she's really making a life for herself.
Mm.
And Norfolk isn't for her. It's too quiet for what she wants to do with her life. And we did we didn't actually end up visiting, but we are thinking of having a holiday there.
We were working our way around coastal towns in Kent, Sussex, etc., discovering places. And I wish we had carried on along the bottom of Kent and across and gone to Hastings, because I think we may have fallen in love with it. But we fell in love with this, and you can only do what you do at the time.
Yeah.
And but we have looked again recently at Hastings. It's really odd that you say that.
If you've been following our sort of journey as such, then you'll know that we did think about the seaside, and we really did consider that. But because we then started seriously thinking about doing the Airbnb, that all changed, and it changed quite rapidly, and we kind of counted out the coast. But now we're thinking that for one reason or another it might not happen, and then do we consider the coast again?
There's a lot of different things to consider in it. There really is. And I'll tell you why, because we could run our business from anywhere, it means we could kind of move anywhere, and then it becomes really difficult to know what's important about an area. And I suppose what we're trying to figure out is what is really important, what's most important about where we live.
And I think that we're learning a lot of lessons from moving here in terms of what we want for the future, if that makes sense. Like we're learning more what we don't want. We don't regret moving here at all. We're very happy here.
White Reseller says, my Alexa started playing music one night and the app caught someone telling it to play Alexa in a northern accent. No northerners in this house.
That is so weird. I felt really like I got a bit of goosebumps when you read that. That was weird. How strange.
How many Alexas did I just set?
The other thing, and I think I've said this before as well, like I've woken up in the middle of the night before in our old house and heard voices downstairs and thought, what the heck? And you know, Nick's in bed, he's fast asleep, so it's not him downstairs. And I thought, what on earth is going on? And gone downstairs and gone in the tat cave, and YouTube was just playing. And I think that one of the times it was like, I think it was like Caroline and Carla were on. And I was like, what's going on? Why is there a YouTube video playing like in the middle of the night? Very strange.
David says, yes, move to Wales. Look, we're not moving anywhere imminently. Don't get the wrong idea, folks. But he says, we are very welcoming folk. I could also supply you with fresh eggs for your poached eggs. Ooh, that's tempting. I just had to cancel my alarm. Sorry, Greg. Alexa, turn off the lights. Oh dear. Sorry, Christina. James, I'd never buy a closet. I have too many skeletons to put in it. Oh, I see. Egg muffins in the oven.
God, you're making me hungry now.
Egg muffins? You wouldn't eat egg muffins.
I wouldn't, no, because I don't eat eggs.
Kevin, we briefly mentioned Lainey earlier. She's in hospital at the moment. She was quite ill, and she's on the mend. Touch wood, she's going to be fine. We're not sure exactly when, but she's coming back home soon. So hopefully she'll be back on YouTube and she can fill everyone in on what's been going on. We talk to her quite often, and she's all right. She's been through the mill a bit. Hopefully home soon. Sorry, Jessica. Pixie Geldof and Paloma Faith live around the corner. Oh, fancy. Norfolk is just too flat. Funnily enough,
is it? Yeah.
Where we are here, we live at the bottom of a hill.
it's a myth that Norfolk is flat. We just have to ask our brother-in-law, who went for a cycle ride when he came to visit, because he does long distance cycling, and he came back and he said, Norfolk definitely isn't flat, is it? That was quite hard work.
We are right south Norfolk, almost Suffolk. So the flat bit of Norfolk is kind of, I think, beyond Norwich. It's the Broads and the Fenland and all of that, where it's proper flat. But yeah, our village, we're in a little valley really here. Hastings is nice. It is, exactly. And we have, it's really odd to me that you mentioned that, because we only recently we were talking about it again, just to keep the conversation going about what is it we might really want if we decide this isn't right, and Hastings keeps coming up. St Leonard's, is immediately next door, isn't it? Interesting. Jake says, I live in the High Peaks. It's a wonderful place. If you ever move, go to the High Peak, Derbyshire. See, I don't think we would go north if we moved again.
I don't think we would. Because we still want to stay fairly near to family.
It would be southeast. I mean, we're kind of on the limit of that. We're kind of northeast at the moment. Well, Midlands, East Midlands, aren't we? We are. Yeah.
Well, we're Anglia.
We're East Anglia bit. We are. Ignore anything I just said. We're currently East Anglia. I think if we moved again, we'd go south, but it may change. 221 watching. Oh, it's just dropped. I've got a little counter on my screen. 220 now, and only 37 likes. Come on, peeps, hit that thumb. Thank you if you do. Good evening. Have I missed anything? Not a lot, to be fair. We didn't have a haul, and we've just been reading the chat and having a chinwag. Like Bridgend sucks as a town, but I'm so close to so many lovely places. Yeah. Goodbye, Raymond.
He's probably gone ages ago.
Words of wisdom, have egg royale for breakfast. All right. Anywhere but Bedford is fantastic. Bedford's not the worst place in the world.
But then we haven't lived there.
We haven't experienced it to live. We used to pop there now and again for jumble trails. Bedford is like a lot of places. It has some lovely little pockets, doesn't it? Really nice houses, and then there's other parts where,
Caro says, I had a spooky experience recently with a soft ticking sound in the kitchen. Gave me the shivers. Eventually tracked it down to the expired battery in the cat flap. We had a weird thing the other night. If you watched our vlog that went up yesterday, you might have heard me kind of mention the fact we didn't get a lot of sleep and there was this weird knocking noise. But yeah, we were lying there trying to get to sleep, and just every now and then it'd be, and then there'd be like about 10 seconds, and then it'd be, like, what is that? And you got up and went and explored, didn't you? Eventually we thought, it must be the dishwasher.
It was the dishwasher.
Because I don't usually put it on at night. I normally put it on sort of earlier in the evening, but it wasn't full, so I put it on before I went to bed. And yeah, I just think that we were just hearing the dishwasher going. But it was really freaky for a bit.
Leon C, the happiest place to live in England.
Really?
And that's official, according to Nick.
Okay. Selena's now in darkness.
Alexa, turn the lights on, please. Selena's now in the dark. I'm sure she isn't by now.
No.
Yes, lots of love for Lainey. Hopefully she'll be out soon. We went to Holt. I don't think we've been to Holt.
No, but people have suggested we go there. Because I was asking where would people like to see us go and do a thrifting video, and Holt was suggested.
Fakenham. Yeah. We haven't been to Fakenham since we've been up here, have we?
No.
No.
Yeah.
but a few people have suggested it. No, we've been there in the past though, right? Did we go to? Am I getting muddled up with places? I think I am.
You might be.
We're hoping to do a sourcing trip with some friends soon. I don't know when we're going to sort that out, and they're going to show us a few places. So that should be fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can sort that out soon.
Oh.
Lee says try, is it Bungay? Is that how you pronounce that? Or Sprouston in Suffolk. It's lovely. We've been to Lavenham. We went there when we went on holiday to Suffolk.
Yeah, when we were out this way, well, Suffolk, exploring, before we moved, we spent a day in Lavenham. Had a pub dinner, didn't we, in Lavenham?
Really nice.
Amazing. And we went on a walk up the old disused railway from Lavenham, and it was gorgeous. I mean, Lavenham is featured in loads of TV and film, hasn't it? Because it's just unspoiled medieval town.
I imagine it's quite expensive.
Oh, for sure.
Bungay's not too far from us, is it?
Not really.
No.
You're currently as northern as you care to be. I think you're right in a way. And we have nothing against North. We have family in Leeds, and we have great friends up as far. Well, Lainey is Sunderland. I've got one of my best friends from uni days is in Newcastle.
Half my family are from that.
Yeah.
My granddad was born in Darlington, so I have family from sort of Newcastle, Sunderland area. And
my favourite city I've ever visited is York, and that's very north.
Oh yeah, we do have family in Leeds area, don't we?
Yeah, that's what I just said.
Oh, did you? Sorry.
All the people with Alexis are leaving. Sorry. Yeah. Have you been to the aviation museum? I don't think we have. No, we haven't experienced that.
If you had to choose, would it be future or family? I'm not sure what the question is.
Future or family? I'm not sure we have to make that as a choice.
What, as in we don't have a future, or? I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, Lex is trying to sell us a house in Bridgend.
Oh, hang on. There. 6-bedroom, granny annex, tennis court.
Don't think we could afford it now.
$1 million.
Could have afforded it before.
$1 million? What sort of budget do you think we have, Lex? Swimming pool? Nah.
We could buy it together.
Will spends a lot of time in Aberystwyth. It's a beautiful place and great place to bring up kids. Never been. We're past the bringing up kids phase, definitely. Oh, I'm at the bottom of the chat.
Okay. I think it's going to be time for words of wisdom.
Okay. Oh, Belinda was born up north. You were born fairly north.
I was born in Grantham.
Grantham Links. Not really north. Midlands.
Yeah.
York car boot best in the country, I reckon. Huh. Shout out to everyone watching from Newcastle and surrounding areas. Okay. Have you discovered any local roadside fresh produce honesty boxes? Yes, I was for a while getting my eggs from a little honesty box down the road. I've got out of the habit now, but they are cheaper than the shop.
Yeah, they're cheaper now. They weren't for a while, but they are now.
Yeah, there's seems to be a thing in Norfolk villages. There's lots of people selling produce at the end of their driveway with honesty boxes. Yeah, I think it's cool. Okie dokie. Let's do a few words of wisdom to end on, shall we?
Ian's there. Look, just there. What would you expect if you bought a former ghost office?
I found a couple of really nice pictures of this when it went to post office recently. Yeah, which I might get hold of. Oh, and we also did manage to get hold. I don't know if you remember, but we said that this house was in a BBC Two documentary, And we've now got hold of that footage from some friends in the village. We're going to try and get that onto a memory stick so we can put it into iMovie. At the moment, we have it on a DVD. And then we can share that footage and show you kind of now and then. That would be cool.
Emma's asking, what's the best item to sell when starting out selling on eBay? Our answer is always something that you know about, something that you enjoy.
Yeah.
But you could also start with things in your house. Yeah.
It makes it a lot easier if you are into what you're selling. If fashion is your thing, sell clothes. You know, if records are your thing, sell records, because you're halfway there already, because you know about them and you're going to enjoy dealing with it and listing it. And then as you go, just branch out and discover what floats your boat, I think. Yeah. The Scale Studios words of wisdom are get it listed. Indeed. Yes, that's going to be our motto for the next month or so, because now we are done buying big hauls for probably the rest of the year. We've got enough stock. So we need to get a handle on our backlog of used stuff. So I think we'll be setting ourselves little challenges over the next month or so to get it all listed. Christina says, if it looks like a duck and waddles like a duck, it's probably a duck. Okay. It's hard to argue with that logic. It's hard. It really is. Yeah. Yeah. Belinda's words of wisdom, if there's something strange in your tap game, who are you going to call? Tap busters. Yep. Thanks, Emma. Stall is asking us, do we need to give notice when our next live auction is? Are we doing it next Sunday? Yes. We're doing it next Sunday. Next Sunday is live auction. We'll probably do, well, we will do a preview on Wednesday. Yeah. Yeah. Let's say that, because we are trying to get into the habit of doing a second Sunday live auction. And obviously the second Sunday was Easter Sunday this month. So we're pushing it forwards. Well, yeah. So if we put out a video on Wednesday, we'll share with you what we're going to sell off. It'll be a mix of stuff again, perhaps a handful of bits from the hauls, and then a variety of used stuff, bits and bobs. And then that'll be next Sunday's live. We'll be selling it all off. Yeah. Not sure if that's Lex talking from experience there. If it's hot going in, it's going to be hotter going out. Oh, we're talking about like curries. I think so. Porky says, remember, people will judge you by your actions, not your intentions. You may have a heart of gold, so does a hard-boiled egg. I like that. Yeah, I like that as well. Judged by your actions, not your intentions. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Emma says, do not look back, look forwards. Yep. Like it. Hello, Kelvin. We are right south Norfolk. We are pretty much in between Thetford and Diss in a little tiny village. I've run out of words of wisdom. I'll just read these. I sell mugs. Have you ever sold or know much about rare ceramic mugs? We've sold many, many mugs. Sold mugs. Yeah, I don't know about really rare ones, but yeah. Don't eat yellow or brown snow. Brown snow? Yeah, so I think maybe Porky's is the one for tonight. We're going to leave on that, shall we? Yeah. Hang on, there's another one coming. Oh, it's Lex. Cream may rise to the top, but so does scum. Ooh, profound. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we'll end with Porky's. Are we going to go with that? Yeah, I think so. Remember, people will judge you by your actions, not your intentions. I like it a lot. Indeed. Okay, so yeah, next week we'll be having an auction. We will try and remember to put out a preview on Wednesday, so you can have a look at that, see if there's anything you might be interested in. Maybe you can pick up a bargain. So 8 o'clock next Sunday, we will kick off the auction. Until then, I hope your sales are many. We need to get listed.
Oh, there's Lainey. Hello,
Where?
Lainey.
Oh,
We're just about to go.
Well, your ears burning. We were talking about you. Are you still in hospital? I'm not sure
I think
when.
she is.
Yeah.
She's just said that.
Oh. Oh, okay. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully you'll be home soon. All back to normal. People are missing your videos. We were talking about you earlier. Okay. Right. We'll catch you all next week for the auction. I filmed a picking video earlier, so I'll try and get that out tomorrow. Have you got a video coming on your channel?
I will try to, but I've got Ellen home at the moment, so I will attempt to do a video this week.
Okie dokie. Thanks for joining us. There's no point without you. We will see you next week for the auction. Are we done?
We are indeed, yeah. Have a good week, everyone.
It's all right.